Hello, good afternoon, student. Myself, Hiral Raval, Standard 9th, subject Science. Okay, chapter number 10 Gravitations. In previous lecture, we have studied the definition of gravitations and some important facts of gravitations. Okay, now in this video, we have studied universal law of gravitation. Okay, so let's start. Every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force which is proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. The force is along the line joining the centers of two objects. Here two objects M1 and M2, A and B. So F is equal to capital G M into M upon D square, where D is the distance of the two objects. Capital M is the mass of the one object and capital small m is the mass of the another object, where G is a universal constant. Let two objects A and B of masses capital M and small m lie at a distance d from each other as shown in figure 10.2. Let the force of attraction between two objects be F. According to the universal law of gravitation, the force between two objects is directly proportional to the product of their masses, that is F is equal to m into m, and the force between two objects is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, that is F is proportional to 1 upon d square. Combining equations 10.1 and 10.2, we get F is equal to m into m upon d square. Okay, or F is equal to G into m upon d square, where G is the constant of proportionality and is called the universal gravitation constant. By multiplying crosswise equations, 10.4 gives F into d square is equal to G into capital M into M. Isaac Newton was born in Hulsford near Grantham, England. He is generally regarded as the most original and influential theorist in the history of science. He was born in a poor farming family, but he was not good at farming. वो farming में अच्छे नहीं थे. He was sent to study at Cambridge University in 1661. In 1665, a plague broke out in Cambridge, and so Newton's took a year off. It was during this year that the incident of the apple falling on him is said to have occurred. This incident promoted Newton to explore the possibility of connecting gravity with the force that kept the moon in the orbit. This led him to the universal law of gravitation. It is remarkable that many great scientists before him knew of gravity but failed to realize it. Newton formulated the well-known laws of motion. He worked on theories of light and color. He designed an astronomical telescope to carry out astronomical observation. Newton was also a great mathematician. He invented a new branch of mathematics. न्यूटन ने जो है वो नई ब्रांच मैथमेटिक्स की नई ब्रांच उन्होंने फाइंड की. He designed astronomical telescope to carry out astronomical observation. Newton was also a great mathematician. He invented a new branch of mathematics called calculus. न्यूटन्स ने जो ब्रांच इन्वेंटेड की, जो मैथमेटिक्स की जो ब्रांच थी, उसका नाम क्या था? कैलकुलस. ओके. He used it to prove that for object outside sphere of uniform density, the sphere behaves as if the whole of its mass is concentrated at its center. Newton transformed the structures of physical science with his three laws of motion and the universal law of gravitation. As the keystone of the scientific revolutions of the 17th century, Newton's work combined the contributions of Copernicus, Kepler, Galileo, and others into a new powerful synthesis. ओके. न्यूटन्स ने जो है अलग अलग साइंटिस्ट के साथ मर्ज होके जो है वो वर्क किया है. ओके. वो साइंटिस्ट के नाम यहाँ पे दिए हैं. I repeat this name: Copernicus, Kepler, Galileo, and other into new powerful synthesis. It is remarkable that through the gravitational theory could not be verified at that time, there was hardly any doubt about its correctness. This is because Newton based his theory on sound scientific reasoning and backed it with mathematics. This made the theory simple and elegant. These qualities are now recognized as essential requirements of a good scientific theory. So here the another thing, that how did Newton guess the inverse square rule. यहाँ पे एक स्क्वायर रूल की बात की है, ये इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए है. There has always been a great interest in the motion of planets. By the 16th century, a lot of data on the motion of planets and had been collected by many astronomers. Based on this data, Johannes Kepler derived three laws which govern the motion of planets. These are called Kepler's law. यहाँ पे Kepler's law दिए है. 11 साइंस में ये Kepler's law की पूरी थियरी दी है. Okay, these are called Kepler's law. There are three laws of Kepler. The first law: the orbit of a planet is an ellipse with the sun at one of the foci, as shown in the figure given below. In this figure, O is the positions of the sun. Okay, this is the first law of Kepler. Then second law: the line joining the planet and the sun sweep equal areas in equal intervals of time. Thus, if the time of travel from A to B is the same as that from C to D, then the areas OAB and OCD are equal. ये जो एरिया है OAB and OCD इक्वल हो सकता है. ओके, हम देख सकते हैं डायग्राम में, दिस इज़ द एरिया ऑफ OAB और दिस इज़ द एरिया ऑफ OCD. ओके, these are both are same. Then third law: the cube of the mean distance of a planet from the sun is proportional to the square of its orbital period t, or r cube is upon t square is equal to constant. It is important to note that Kepler could not give a theory to explain the motion of planets. It was Newton who showed that the cause of the planetary motions is the gravitational force that the sun exerts on them. Newton used the third law of Kepler to calculate the gravitational force of attractions. Okay, the gravitational force of the earth is weakened by distance. A simple argument goes like this: we can assume that the planetary orbit are circular. हम ऐसे गेस करते हैं कि planetary orbit है, suppose वो circular है. Okay, suppose the orbital velocity is v and the radius of orbit is r, then the force acting on an orbiting planet is given by F is equal to v square upon r. If T, capital T, denotes the period, capital T is the time period. Time period का equation है 1 upon T. So we have write that V is equal to 2 pi r upon T. 2 pi r, the circumference of the circle है ना, 2 pi r upon T. So that V square is equal to r square upon T square. We can rewrite this as V square is equal to 1 upon r into r cube upon t square, since r cube upon t square is constant by Kepler's third law. We have v square into 1 upon r. Combining this, f is equal to v square upon r. We get f is equal to 1 upon r square. These laws are called Kepler's law. थर्ड तीन लॉज यहाँ पे दिए हैं, ओके, केपलर्स के. और g is equal to f into d square upon m into m. The SI unit of g can be obtained by substituting the units of force, distance and mass. ओके, सबके हम फोर्स, जैसे कि यहाँ पे लिखा है कि जी एफ सपोज न्यूटन, डी स्क्वायर तो मीटर स्क्वायर में होगा, और एम जो है कैपिटल एम एंड स्मॉल एम बोथ आर इन केजी, केजी इंटू केजी स्क्वायर. सो जी का यूनिट होगा न्यूटन इंटू मीटर स्क्वायर अपॉन केजी स्क्वायर. ओके, हम ऐसे लिख सकते हैं द यूनिट ऑफ जी न्यूटन इंटू मीटर स्क्वायर अपॉन केजी स्क्वायर. ओके, वरना ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं न्यूटन इंटू मीटर स्क्वायर इंटू केजी -2. ठीक है, both are same. The value of G was found out by Henry Cavendish. हेनरी कैवेंडिश नाम का साइंटिस्ट हो गया. उसने वैल्यू जो है वो जी की फाइंड की 1731 to 1810 by using a sensitive balance. The accepted value of capital G is 6.673 into 10 raised to -11 Newton into meter square into kg -2. We know that there exists a force of attraction between any two objects. Compute the value of this force between you and your friend sitting close by. Conclude how you do not experience this force. हम एक्सपीरियंस कर सकते हैं ना, बिकॉज अट्रैक्शन फोर्स तो लगता ही है. The law is universal in the sense that it is applicable to all bodies, whether the bodies are big or small, whether they are celestial or terrestrial. Okay, so inverse square, saying that capital F is inversely proportional to the square of D, means, for example, that if D gets bigger by a factor of 6, f becomes 1 upon 36 times smaller. f की वैल्यू जो है वो स्मॉल होती है. Here some examples are there. Example 10.1. So हमें सबसे पहले क्या करना है, डेटा जो है वो लिख देने हैं. The mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg and that of the moon is 7.4 into 10 raised to 22 kg. If the distance between the earth and the moon is 3.841 3.84 into 10 raised to 5 kilometer, calculate the force exerted by the earth on the moon. Here the value of G is equal to 6.7 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton into meter square upon kg square. So solution, first we have write the data m, capital M, small m, d की वैल्यू है वो किलोमीटर में, हम उसको न्यूटन में मीटर में कन्वर्ट करेंगे. 10⁵ किलोमीटर है. ओके, तो हम क्या करेंगे, किलोमीटर को मीटर में कन्वर्ट करना है तो 10⁵. ऑलरेडी यहाँ पे 10⁵ है, 5 + 3 8. सो द वैल्यू ऑफ डी इज इक्वल टू 3.84 इंटू 10⁸ मीटर. यहाँ पे लिखी भी है वैल्यू. ओके, जी की वैल्यू है 6.7 इंटू 10⁻⁻11 न्यूटन इंटू मीटर स्क्वायर अपॉन kg स्क्वायर. ओके, पुट द वैल्यू इन दिस इक्वेशंस. हमें ये वैल्यू जो है ये इक्वेशन में हमें रखनी है. सो F इज इक्वल टू जी m इंटू m अपॉन डी स्क्वायर. ओके, ऑल द वैल्यू एंड मैथमेटिकल स्टेप्स से आप कर सकते हो रफ में. तो हमें आंसर मिलेगा 2.01 इंटू 10⁻20. Thus the force exerted by the earth on the moon is 2.01 into 10⁻21 Newton. Okay, here again inbuilt questions हैं. First question is this, state the universal law of motions. Second question जो है, write the formula to find the magnitude of the gravitational force between the earth and an object of the surface of the earth. Okay, इसके आंसर हमको जो भी इनबिल्ट क्वेश्चन है मैंने पहले ही बताया था, उसके आंसर आपको उसके जो पहले जो पैरा होता है उसमें से हमें मिल जाते हैं. ओके, देन 10.1.2 इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ द यूनिवर्सल लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन. इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है ना, ये यूनिवर्सल जो लॉज है उसकी इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है. तो द यूनिवर्सल लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन सक्सेसफुली explain several phenomena which were believed to be unconnected. First, the force that binds us to the earth. Second, the motion of the moon around the earth. Third, the motion of planets around the sun. And fourth, the tides due to the moon and the sun. ओके, ये जो है वो लॉज ऑफ ग्रेविटेशंस जो है ये है इम्पोर्टेंस हुआ उसका. ओके, देखते हैं फिर से. द फोर्स दैट बाइंड्स अस टू द अर्थ. सेकेंड, ये जो फोर्स है वो अर्थ को बाइंड्स करके रखता है. सेकेंड है द मोशन ऑफ द मून अराउंड द अर्थ. उसकी वजह से जो मून है वो अराउंड द अर्थ जो है वो रोटेशन करती रहती है. थर्ड है द मोशन ऑफ प्लैनेट्स अराउंड द सन एंड द टाइड्स ड्यू टू द मून एंड द सन. ओके, सो नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है फ्री फॉल. लेट अस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द मीनिंग ऑफ फ्री फॉल बाय परफॉर्मिंग दिस एक्टिविटी. टेक अ स्टोन, थ्रो इट अपवर्ड्स. एक स्टोन को हमें अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन में ऊपर डालना है. इट रीचेस अ सर्टेन हाइट एंड देन इट स्टार्ट्स फॉलिंग डाउन. वो सर्टेन हाइट तक तो ऊपर जाएगा और फिर वो नीचे आना स्टार्ट हो जाएगा, है ना, वो फ्री फॉल हुआ. वी हैव लर्न दैट द अर्थ अट्रैक्ट्स ऑब्जेक्ट टूवर्ड्स इट. दिस इज ड्यू टू द ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स. व्हेनेवर ऑब्जेक्ट्स फॉल टूवर्ड्स द अर्थ अंडर दिस फोर्स अलोन वी से दैट द ऑब्जेक्ट्स आर इन फ्री फॉल. ऑब्जेक्ट्स जो है वो फ्री फॉल में जा रहा है. फ्री फॉल की एक डेफिनेशन हो गई है. ओके, ये जो है वो फ्री फॉल की डेफिनेशन हुई. वी हैव लर्नड दैट द अर्थ अट्रैक्ट्स ऑब्जेक्ट टूवर्ड्स इट. दिस इज ड्यू टू द ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स. whenever objects fall towards the earth under these force alone, we say that the objects are in free fall. objects जो है वो free fall में है. ओके स्टूडेंट, तो यहाँ तक हम रखते हैं. एग्जाम्पल्स है वो आप एक बार कर लेना, 2 बार अपनी बुक में करना, रफ बुक में करना. ओके, तो आपको अब वो एग्जाम्पल्स है वो आ जाएगा. ठीक है. थैंक यू स्टूडेंट.